Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next, hello, Andrew. Welcome to our next session.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Just swimming along. Rowing would have been better there. If you're just joining us, we're doing all kinds of fun stuff with everything that is new in Adobe Illustrator. I'm Andrew Hockrattle.
And I'm Sarah Kuehnle.
Sarah, what do you do? This is your first time on the stream today. You
This
all have
is.
seen me too much. What's your vibe? Tell us about you.
So I am a designer on the Illustrator team at Adobe. That is my professional life. My personal life, I'm an illustrator and character designer.
Oh, so there's lots of illustration happening.
Oh, hell yeah.
Illustration with Illustrator. So yes, we're going to be showing you everything in Illustrator. If you want to update, go ahead and come over to the Creative Cloud desktop app. My goodness.
It's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. So you can click on the Creative Cloud desktop app, open it up, and then over on the left here, if we want to hop to my screen, boom, boom, we can click on all apps, or you can click on updates and see what you're missing. I currently have 4 updates to do. Ooh, photography updates. Fun. Okay, we're not talking about this today. What we're going to be talking about today is how to empower your clients. How do you empower your clients, Sarah?
A lot of motivational speeches.
Yes,
A
you
lot
can
of pep
do
talks.
it. Yeah, so I think we probably feel the same stress that a lot of times your clients aren't necessarily on the same page as you as a creative professional who's designing the brand. And so thankfully, using the power of Creative Cloud libraries, of Adobe Express Beta, there are a whole bunch of ways that we can, as creative professionals, equip our clients
Absolutely.
to be creative within some confines. We want to set up a little fence and let them run free.
Guardrails.
Yes, guardrails. So I'm gonna hop into Adobe Illustrator and show you what we are working on today. So if you were around for the last stream, this is actually a very exciting stream because this is work that was done with Emily Poulin from the last stream.
Beautiful.
Look at that, we got a little carryover action happening here.
Awesome.
Make sure you go follow Emily on all of her socials, absolutely incredible designer. And so I got to work with Emily on this project. If you want to get a sample of our styles, the top one's Emily, the bottom one's me. So I'm a little more stuffy. So we're going to be working with some of Emily's illustrations and kind of the work that we did and collaborated together. And the theme today is going to be collaboration.
Ooh, we
Right?
need glitter.
We do. Like, oh wait, hold on, wait. Oh, this is going to be my favorite thing that's ever happened. Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Here we go. Collaboration. My hands got cut off. All right, imagine that was a gorgeous rainbow. So we are going to be working today building out this brand. And this is actually a brand that was real, that the project got killed, but I think that it deserves life. So we're going to build out this brand. I'm going to show you how to empower your clients by building out a brand with assets that you have in Adobe Illustrator, which is pretty cool. So Sarah,
Yes.
what role would you like to play in this situation?
How about I play the client?
I love that. So Sarah's gonna be our client today, and I will be the designer. So the first thing that I wanna do before I even go to the client to talk about anything is I wanna set up a Creative Cloud library. And this is something that we are gonna work on together, that I, as the creative, am creating right, these amazing illustrations. And Emily created these illustrations. Let's hop over here. So these illustrations are gorgeous. They're so fun. Little stickers. The vibe of this was like Monsters, Inc. College, but with plants. Right?
I love it.
Yeah, so instead of
awesome.
monsters, it's plants. And so what I can do with all these little pieces is all I need to do is click and drag them over into the libraries panel. If you haven't used that, you can go to Window, you can go to Libraries, and right there it is. So I'm just gonna click and drag these over here, and it's super quick and fast to just drag everything in here. And you can drag, what are the things you can drag in here, Sarah? What are the options?
Oh, we can drag so much. You can drag, so images, as you are. We can bring in color swatches. We can bring in type. There are many things I'm probably missing. A bunch of them.
Yes, you can do like all of the things. So I'm gonna just pull in a couple of these, and then I'll show you how we can add them as we go, because I think that is an essential thing with clients as well, that like you give them a million things and they're like, what about 1,010,000? And so we're going to pull in a bunch of these stickers here, a bunch of these gorgeous illustrations. And I have shared this with Sarah. Now, what you need to do is click on the share button right here. When you click on the share button, you'll be able to put in their email. And there are two options. There's one for can see, and there's one is for can edit. You want to make sure that you can edit. I'm going to give you edit access. I know that might feel stressful to some creatives. But it is only giving you, if we're making a scrapbook, I'm giving you the sticker sheets. And so you're probably not going to create your own stickers. You can use the ones that I've given you. So we're going to work here, and that looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to go over to the brand real quick. And let's say that I want to grab some of these kind of patterns, which I think are really cool.
Beautiful.
Let's go ahead, and I'm going to bring these in and start to like pull them in so that we can use them in different ways. So one way that I could do this is I can literally grab it, and I'm just going to copy and then come over here and paste it. In Adobe Illustrator, we can use a really cool feature to create a pattern. We're going to go to Object. We are going to go to Pattern, and we're going to go to Make. Man, there are so many times I click on a menu, and I'm like, I think it's here, and I'm going to say it's here, and then it eventually is there. So we're going to click on Make right here, and check it out. So we have this awesome pattern looking a little bit wonky, but that's fine. I can come in, and maybe I want to change this brick by row. Maybe I want brick by column. So you can change it so that it is in different orientations, basically. And I think that I want this to be, how do I want this? Let's do grid. And then let's fix the spacing here. So fixing the spacing.
Can you add a little bit of space? There you go.
There we go.
Just on the edges.
All right, that's close enough for me looking at it with my eye. I don't know how else I would look at it, but but that's how I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna hit done here. And what's cool is that actually saves the pattern to my swatches. So now if I create a little square, I can click and it will put that pattern inside of that square, which is really cool. So I am going to, I think we can do this. Can I drag this into a library? Can I add patterns to a library?
I believe you can. We will find out.
Let's find out together, y'all.
It's exciting.
All right, swatches, click and drag into a library. I don't think you can. All right, that's fine because I can just pull this in. What is that? Oh, I don't have the right thing selected. Andrew, pull it together. So I'm just gonna pull this into my library and we can use it over in Adobe Express. And we'll update it in another way in a minute. All right, so I have this library that I've built out and I'm just dragging stuff in there, but I've spent too much time on myself. Let's show how our client is going to be using it and how you can access this library. Let's say that you're working in Adobe Express Beta.
Perfect. So I'm gonna jump into the Express Beta as a brand new user to Express and access my library.
Yes.
So I'm going to assume it's under your stuff.
Yes, which I love that the your stuff is just like, I don't know, just like everything.
It's gotta be mine.
Yep, so in your stuff, there's a whole bunch of stuff that are your files, but at the top you can see brands and libraries.
Brands and libraries.
And we're gonna see ours pop up, which is HPU, I think we named it.
I have a lot of libraries.
Same.
Here we go.
And, oh, wait, yep,
It's
there we
coming.
go. All those graphics are in there, which is really cool.
Sweet.
And actually, can you place one of those? So all you need to do is click on it and it will place it on there. Again, we're just working with stickers. And I believe, if I remember, yes. So in Illustrator, each of those stickers has an outer glow on it and it will save that into the library. So if you want to make sure, right, every time your client uses it that it's separated, literally just build it into the graphic. So what's really cool is let's have you start playing around and maybe you can put some of those stickers in there, start to create a design over there.
Great.
And while you do that, we're gonna come back to my screen. So over on my screen, I have these gorgeous patterns. I'm so sad that this project didn't work out because these patterns are awesome. But let's say that I wanted to see a little bit of a different look. Okay, and so this feels very fall to me. And let's just explore using the power of generative recolor. And I want to show you how it can be used for an actual use case with a client, right? So this is our brand. It looks pretty good. And I'm going to start over here just to see a different color palette before we apply it to anything. I'm just looking for an open space. My artboards are chaos when I work. So we have right here a nice little area, and we're going to go to Edit, Edit Colors, and Generative Recolor. So from here, maybe I don't want it to be as fun, and maybe I want it to be more fall floral. So I'm going to do maybe like fall flowers. Yeah, let's just do fall flowers and see what happens. So it is going to recolor and give me some options. Okay. All right, a little drab. That's a little dull. All right, that's looking somewhere.
That's getting a bit more fun.
So maybe let's do bright contrast, bright, colorful flower, and see what happens. I might not want to do bright, but we can edit that in the back end. So that one's looking a little bit better. All right, that's a little dark for me. It's a little too purple. I'm not mad about those colors.
It's a nice mix.
Yeah, I like this mix. So what I can do here is I like the mix, but I don't like the combinations. All I need to do is come in and click on these little dots and go to select and edit colors. And then from here, I can shuffle them around. So we can shuffle and see if these really work together. And I think with certain levels, this would work really well together. I'm not mad about some of these.
Ooh.
That's interesting. It's weird, but it's interesting. And so this could be a great way to show different options to your client. And then I'm also going to come up here and grab this kind of sheet that I used as my key presentation to the client. And I'm going to make a copy of this and bring it down here. Oops. Control V. And while you're working on those, I'm going to drop this in there because this is just a good social media graphic for you to have. So this is like one of my favorite ways to do things is to build them as squares or whatever in Illustrator and then use your libraries to just say, hey, you need a new template? Here you go. It's in the library now. All right, so we're going to use that generative recolor and we are going to click and drag, edit, and we are going to do edit colors and recolor artwork. And from here, I'm going to do, Sarah already knows this. If you watch the stream today, what is my go-to new favorite generation for colors?
That would be ripe banana.
Ripe banana. If y'all want to see some cool colors, type in ripe banana, and it's my absolute favorite because it gives you these gorgeous yellow tones. So let's go ahead and click here. Oh, yeah. So it gives us that nice muted kind of yellow. This is a little more saturated. It's probably a little too hot for this brand. Ooh.
That's very nice.
I love that.
Good contrast.
Yep. Ooh, I like this one a lot too.
That's fun.
I'm not crazy about the dark black, but that's easy because if I don't like a color, I can come in here, select and edit colors, go to advanced options, and then find that color I don't like. So I don't like this dark kind of black. I maybe want to keep this red. So that looks good. And then down here, there is a very dark black that I maybe want to keep the brown or that green. There we go. Okay, so that looks good. Ooh, I like this palette a lot. So I'm gonna grab the original and you guys can see a little before and after. All right, original is on the right and then the recolored is on the left. So very similar, but it's brought it together, given it a little bit more cohesion, kind of smashed the colors down a little bit to have that nice undertone. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks a little fresher. It's brighter now. It's nice.
It does. Sorry, Emily. We did great. We love the colors, but generative recolor helped us a little bit. So this is just a great way to explore options with your clients. Okay, so let's hop back over to your screen and see what we've created in Adobe Express.
All right.
Great.
So grabbing some stickers, starting to explore a little bit of what I can do.
So fun.
I like your pattern. Not sure how I'm going to use it yet.
Yes.
But I like it.
Honestly, same. Let me go ahead and I'll grab another one of these patterns. Actually, are these seamless? Did I make these seamless? Andrew, how you doing? No, I didn't. That's okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna stay right there. We don't even have to switch screens because we have a new feature.
Andrew.
It's me.
Hello.
I'm here to grow with you and our plants.
Beautiful.
Yes. So what's really cool is there is a little button down here that says linked updates. Linked assets has updated. That was for a different file. But let's say that we're working on this and I don't necessarily like the red here. I love the blue that's happening here and I like the orange, but this red is messed up, right? As a client, you could go and try to change it, pick the wrong orange, or you could say, hey, Andrew, the red on there, not quite what we're looking for. And all I need to do is come to Illustrator. I'll double click on that little spade This is a spade, right?
It is.
Cool. And then what I'm going to do is just grab this color here. And let's say that I want the orange from this ruler. I can place this ruler here and then just eyedropper in that orange. Boop. And when I save this, watch what happens. So I'll save, and over on her screen, oh, look, an update. Just go ahead and click on that update
Beautiful.
at the bottom and watch what happens.
Update.
Boom.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
right? If a client ever uses one of your linked assets, you can go into Illustrator and you can change it, you can fix it. You can really play around with creating something that is on brand and keeps your clients on brand, which is really hard to do sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have no idea what red I would have chosen.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I've created over on my screen, I've created a bunch of just backgrounds. So I created these patterns. Again, every time I look at this project, I get so sad. I've created a bunch of these patterns, and I'm gonna just drag these in because they're already squares, right? And so I could import these into Adobe Express for my client to work on, but it's much easier for me to just drag this into my libraries so that I can collaborate with my client and say, hey friend, let's go ahead and like make a thing. So we can come back into Adobe Express, and let's say that you're working on this page and I say, you know what, I wanna do a little bit of a different vibe. So I'm gonna add another page to this, and we're gonna do resize, and I'm gonna do an Instagram post. Let's do an Instagram, let's do a Facebook post as well. So I'm gonna duplicate and resize, and watch what happens. Boom, it created 2 new pages for me.
Excellent.
So Sarah can be working on the first one, I can be working on the second one. And what I'm gonna do is get rid of some of these, and we're just gonna start off with that background. And the same thing.
Beautiful. And can I spy on you while you're working on that page?
You can click on the little arrow and it will take you to the next page and be like, what's he doing? Which like is kind of stressful if I know that my clients are watching. But then again, I live stream so much. Usually when I'm doing a branding project, I will live stream and have my clients like tune in and be like, hey, I'm gonna be working from these times to these times, just pop in and give me live feedback. Which feels stressful to most designers, but I kind of like it. All right, so I'm using this as a linked object. Again, I can click and then I can set this as the page background, and boom. Now I have my nice little background there.
Beautiful.
And we're gonna use a new tool in Illustrator. There's so much fun new stuff in Illustrator. And let's say that I have, don't look at that. Let's say that I like already have my answers. Let me find an example that is not already there. Okay.
There you go.
Here we go. So let's say that this great tagline that we worked on is outlined, right? I'm working and I want to create something in Adobe Express, and so I say, what font is this? And I click on it and it's not there. What's the new tool that we have, Sarah?
We have a wonderful new tool in beta called Retype.
Yes, and you can find that by going to, there it is, type and retype beta. And then with that text selected, all we need to do is click on it right there, and then we can do enter retype. I like that most callouts are just the title of like retype or like an action verb, and this one was like enter. Retype.
You're going into a very specific zone.
That's it. One day I got in. Tron, very specific Tron reference. Let me see if I make this darker. Why are we not? There we go.
There we go.
It's because it was white. All right, so I can see here that it has found fonts that are similar, and it's actually outlining every instance of that type. Do you know,
Interesting.
if I selected something with multiple different fonts, could I click through and it would try to match each font?
That is a great question.
Let's
I
find out.
do not know the answer.
Let's find out. All right, so let's exit retype, exit retype.
Out of the zone.
I do like that it's enter and exit. So I'm just gonna grab like a couple of these that I know aren't fonts, but I'll be interested to see what it does. So we're gonna paste this up here, and then we are going to, select both of those, and we are going to enter retype.
Yes.
We're in. All right, oh, it did work.
It
okay,
did.
So all I need to do is click on what I wanna see, and it's gonna find an option. And this is Emily's handwriting, as you saw in the last stream. Amazing
Beautiful.
Illustrator. And this is going to match things for me. So maybe I do want to like refine this a little bit. All I need to do is find one that works. So Skippy Regular looks good for me. And I can click, boop, right there. And that is
now you have access to that font.
yes, it's
Beautiful.
sinking in a million tiny pieces above our head. Man, I've got a lot of movie references today.
Wonderful. I have none.
That's okay. I'm sure you'll have one eventually. What's your like genre?
It's gonna have to be Ghostbusters.
Okay, all right.
That's all I got.
We'll make this very scary eventually, and then we can work it in. So it is syncing from the cloud again, from Adobe Fonts, which is really cool. And then here I can just find out that is Barricada. Barricada is the font that we use there. And so now I can say, hey client, Barricada is actually the font that we used. And so I can come down here, come back to Adobe Express, and we can add some text. I'm gonna add in my text. We're gonna type in Barricada, there it is, right there. Yay, and we can type in grow with your plants. We can change the color of this. Yay, and add some magic. All right, so let's go ahead and have you take over this, and let's just maybe put in some like taglines, put in some text. Maybe we can toss some of those stickers on there. And I'm gonna show you how to set up a brand for your clients. So again, there's a bunch of different ways to do things, and there's no wrong way, just different ways. So hopping over, I'm going to go into the homepage of Adobe Express right here. And then we are going to go to your stuff. That's my stuff. And from here, I'm going to click on brands, and then we are going to create a brand. And we're going to do this one is going to be HPU. And from here, you can see everything on the right are all of the different pieces of this brand, right? So as Sarah's working, great, but let's say that there's a template that she wanted to use and we didn't know what colors, we didn't know what fonts to use. I can set that up all right here in the Adobe Express beta. That was a long pause. Sorry, there was a hiccup that happened in the middle. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to choose the fonts. So I'm going to click on font. And you can see here in use, I've already used this font. So if you're doing the brand after the fact, we've already used this font. And so I literally can just type or click right here on the used fonts, and it's going to bring it into my brand. Looks pretty good. The secondary font, I found one that I kind of liked here in Adobe Illustrator using the retype tool, Skippy Sharp Regular. So I can click on fonts and hit plus, and it's going to give me the option to add another font. So I'm going to do Skippy right there. And that will be my subhead, secondary font.
Beautiful.
Ooh, oh. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yes. And I need that sort of control. I need you to give me the guardrails for that.
Yes.
Because as a client, I don't know how to pair my fonts. So I'm going to struggle there. But if you can tell me I should use this for headers or border copy, it's going to be a lot easier.
That's really cool. Yeah, so if you click on the little 3 dots, you can say edit tag and go to header or body copy. And that way they're not using the wrong fonts for the wrong things. I didn't know that existed until right now. And that is very helpful for clients because you say, here are your brand fonts, right? So I would give a client this sheet that we saw in our document. I would say, hey, look here is your sheet. And they'd be like, so I can use any of these for anything? And I'd say, no, that's not at all what I said. And so, yeah, right? I want to be free.
I love being a client.
So it looks like I'm actually using Capitolium for this brand. And so let's go ahead and replace that. So all I need to do is edit fonts, and let's see if Capitolium is here. There it is, Capitolium News. We'll click, and then it will replace that. And I can edit tag, make sure it's the body, and there we go. We got a perfect pairing looking good.
Beautiful.
All right, colors are the next thing. Let's go ahead and add in the colors. These are very easy, and I typically like just jump back and forth. You know what? I'm very interested in something real quick. The eyedropper tool. Oh, it does. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Oh, I'm so excited that this is a thing. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my colors in Illustrator, right, that are over here. I'm gonna open up that window. If this works, I'm gonna lose my mind. Eyedropper, please. Is that it? Did it work? Oh.
It works.
Bye.
We have a major unlock here.
You can sample colors from anywhere on the screen.
That's a huge time saver.
That's a huge time saver. That's like faster than trying to set up my brand in like the regular ways that I do it. Oh my goodness. So literally I can just come in here, grab my colors out of Illustrator, and very, very quickly have them in Adobe Express for my clients to use.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Look how fast that is.
Oh my god, the efficiency, the workflows, the collaboration. All right, so we have all of our colors in here. I can't believe that it did it that fast. That's crazy. Then logos. We could click here and we could upload our logo, which I think I'll do. Let's go ahead and just grab an SVG of the, let's do the little badge. I think that would be the one that we use the most.
Perfect for social.
Perfect for social. Let's do 5 of them. That was me already having settings set. Let's go ahead and delete those. All right, so I'm gonna blow this up just to be the full size, because that's usually I get too stressed about clients resizing it, so I size it for them to the edges. Also, if you don't wanna do that, this is a nice little hack in Illustrator. If you have an object selected, you can hit Shift-O or grab your artboard tool. And if you don't know the size, you just click on it and it will make an artboard perfectly to the edge of every single pixel.
Which is an incredible time saver.
Oh, absolutely. So usually, actually I can show you. This is what things look like on my artboard, right? Is like stuff is just thrown everywhere as I'm working. And so if I don't want to have to deal with it, I can grab that artboard tool and just boom, boom, get on there. Click, click, and it's making artboards around all these things. Then we can open up our artboards and reorder those artboards very quickly. And now everything is like super organized. So if you ever have chaos, just make everything an artboard and then reflow it all.
Beautiful.
Magic.
We have a question in the chat.
Love it.
Wondering, does the eyedropper work the same way in Illustrator as it did in Express just now?
Do you know the answer to that?
I don't, but we should try it.
All right, let's see. All right, let's try to grab the plus sign. So let's go here. I don't think it's going to, because it's going to take the eyedropper away. Yeah, no. I think the answer's no. I think the answer's no. The answer's no. No.
Sadly, no.
Sadly, no. But great feedback. Good idea.
Wonderful feedback. Thank you for the question, Juxtabros.
All right, so I'm going to save this logo as an SVG right there. And let's just do logo on the desktop. Rest in peace, my desktop. And let's bring it into the logo right here. And where did we go? Logo, SVG. Boom. And it will upload that logo for me right there and then apply it to my brand. My brand. And then if I wanted any graphics, I could do those. And so those are the stickers that I could just throw in there, which is really cool. But they're already in a library. We don't need to double our efforts here.
But you could use that if you preferred that as a particular workflow.
Yes.
You can kind of work both ways.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer. And again, you can upload SVGs, PNGs, all that stuff here.
Perfect.
Which, if these were all separate artboards, you could export really quickly all of them.
Yes.
And how would we do that?
Well, we have to isolate all of those images.
Yes. Imagine they're isolated, everyone.
And then we can batch export them. There is another way, though. We can do that through the asset export flow in Illustrator.
Oh, yes.
And that will allow you to just select all of those on the canvas and then drag them into the asset export.
Okay, where's the asset export? I'm about to learn something.
So we're going to go to Window, Asset Export, and then you can just click and drag as long as they're not in a big group. If those are individually selected, then you can drag them all into that panel and prep them for export. And you can set it as an SVG or a PNG or a JPEG, whatever you need.
I need you to stay here with me. Asset export. All right, we're going to pull this out. All right.
There you go.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Yes.
Screaming.
So, additionally, right now you'll notice if you look in that panel, they're all named asset and a number.
Yes.
If you have those objects named in your layers panel, they will come across with those names as well. So if you need a specific naming convention, you can have that, and that will also speed up.
I need an adult. Oh, that's so good. I'm learning so much stuff that is going to speed up my workflow.
Perfect.
That's awesome. That is such a great tip. And also, if we had these named, we also could now search in our layers, which is brand new. And so these are not, so we can't, but we can
But
search. Imagine. We could search by, I believe, graphics. So there's a bunch: path, shape, text, image, effects, groups, linked files, all kinds of stuff that could be really cool that you can search for and look through. And I think if you've built stuff independently, I'm guessing that I can search for like circle here, or I guess it would be ellipse.
Ellipse.
Okay, so I search for ellipse, and then here, it looks like these are all the ellipses. And maybe let's search for rectangle. And here are all the rectangles. Oh, that's so cool. And so you can turn off all the rectangles, all the ellipses, all the open paths or closed paths very easily. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, where was I? I got so distracted. Okay, so we're here. We could add the graphics. It looks good. And we did have a question in chat somewhere. Oh, right there. Moros, I know it's a silly question. Are you guys really in London? We are not. We are actually tagging on. We were in London this morning. We weren't.
We were not.
We were not. Adobe Live was live in London this morning and then threw it over across the pond to us in San Francisco.
We were there in spirit.
Yes, yes. Emotionally and digitally, we were there. All right, so I'm going to come back to our template that we are working on together. And we can look here. Oh, it's so fun. It's so cute. And this little purple thing right here is just showing that you have it selected. So maybe you're working on it, which is really cool. So let's do the other way. If we want to put our logo in the bottom left hand, I haven't shared the brand with you, so I'll do it.
I would love that.
Yeah, so what I can do is I can go to your stuff and then come back out here, and you can go to brands and libraries. And I believe we can look at brands right here, which is HPU. And look, all those things that we put in are now in our brand. So let's say that I wanted to change the type to that yellow color. What's cool is right here, it's already in my selection zone because it is my brand right here. You can switch to a different brand if you wanted to, but this brand is already done right here. So far.
Perfect.
Ooh, oh.
Oh, hello.
I made a choice. It was the wrong one.
And not all choices are good choices.
Yeah, not all choices are good choices.
But we've got to make them.
Yes, and if I want to add the logo, I can just click right here, and it's going to add that logo. And I'm going to let you place that logo, and I am going to do some animation.
Cool. Can I do my client?
Yes,
stuff?
make the logo bigger.
There, I think we're done.
Yeah, there's social behind this, but it's really about like the focus on our brand.
It's I don't want people to miss the logo.
Yes.
I'm worried.
Yeah. It's brand recognition, right? All
I'll
right.
make it a little smaller.
So what we can do is this little hanging guy right here, I want him to kind of like fall in from the ceiling and then maybe do like a little like swing.
Fun.
So let's see if we can do this. What we're going to do is we are going to go to animation and I'm going to do, yay, bungee. I think, let's do drop. I think drop is fun.
Drop is nice.
So let's do drop. And so it's going to drop in and you can change the duration. So maybe a little bit, yeah, maybe a little bit less. And then we're going to do looping. We can have it breathe. We can have it bob. Oh, that feels chaotic. We can have it flicker. It's imaginary. Pulse. Oh, no. Yo-yo. Yo-yo could be fun if we take it up a little bit, maybe. All right, let's do yo-yo. And I'm going to change the intensity down to 1. And the speed, also same thing. All right, and I'm going to take it up quite a bit. All right, so let's play this and see what happens. Oh. Yeah, I'm not mad about that, right?
Very nice. And so you just added animation to our social media post in Express.
Yes, which is crazy because like it was just this a second ago. It was just me working in Illustrator and it was like, oh cool, look at these stickers. And then I brought it to life using the Adobe Express beta in
Beautiful.
like 10 seconds. Like it's so easy. All right, this little guy, I love him. I'm gonna use my favorite effect and that is tumble. Let me go into animation and we're gonna tumble that little boy in.
I'm excited for, oh.
And what's cool is you can change the direction, so I can have it kind of
love it.
fly in from the other side. I love that effect. These sweet little plants down in the corner, let's have them kind of grow up from there. Animation in. Oh, let's have them bungee, but upward.
Nice.
That's fun.
Perfect.
All right. Cool. And the logo, I don't know. Let's do like a little like.
Make it dance a little.
I was gonna say, yeah. That feels. I love this one. I actually I'll show you guys how I use that one because I really like it. Wiggle. Yeah, wiggle is what I want.
Beautiful.
All right, so let's go ahead and click here and hit play. Yay! And right now everything's coming in at the same time, but if I wanted to change that, all I need to do is go in here and maybe change the timing. So we're gonna click on Show Layer Timing, and then drag this timing here. Maybe drag this one out a little bit there. And now when I play it,
beautiful.
Yay!
And so we can adjust the timing of all of those stickers
Yes.
individually.
Each individual piece, as long as you click on it, you'll be able to edit it and change it. So real world application. Real world application, yes. I'm gonna actually just show you guys, I don't often show things that are currently happening. So this is something that I was working on the other day. I'm launching a merch line with Southwest Airlines and did a photo shoot. Got all these images in here, brought them into the Adobe Express beta, and I had been working in Photoshop and was like, okay, like we made some cool images. I wonder if I can make this like fun. And so we made it into a really fun
I love it.
Right? And so it's really fun to like take pieces and pull them out of a photo for a photo shoot and then be able to animate and create some really great social media images. I think we do a lot of demos. It's like, hey, look at this thing. But I wanted to show you like, this is the actual power that like, I'm gonna run this as an Instagram ad.
Yeah.
This one's really fun too. Whoosh, fly with style.
I love it.
Right? So fun. So
I mean, I still can't get over that you're not going into a different software program to add animation.
Yes.
Like the power of that is just incredible.
Yep, and you can see here, so I have a couple things happen. If you see at the top here, that little wiggly thing, I actually have a texture layer. So there's a huge paper texture that's over this, and then I changed the blending mode to multiply, and the blending modes will stay. And so then if I am using that wiggle effect on it, it will wiggle that texture and make it look like, right, it's got that paper. Really fun. So really cool. So look out for those. July 11th, everybody, shameless plug.
Excellent.
All right, so some questions from chat. Let's do some Q&A.
Yes, so we have one here. Is it possible to add animated GIF stickers?
Oh, I believe not yet is the answer. I know that you can make GIFs from your animations in Adobe Express. And so if we animated something here in the Express beta, made a cool animation, we just go to share and we can export this, download, and then we can export this. And then if you go to Express, the current version, express.adobe.com, you can go to a quick action right here, go to video, and then we can convert to GIF. So that would be a great way to create like a sticker for social media.
Definitely.
Ooh, that'd be so fun. And it's Pride. You could do some Pride stickers. Ooh, that'd be really fun. Animate some little like Pride stickers, bring them in, make them GIFs, send them to your friends. If you love it, tell your friends.
Perfect. So we have another
questions.
one here. Can you speak? We were just actually talking about that. Can you talk a little more about export options?
Oh, yes. What would you like to know?
Everything.
Yes, export options. Here's another animation that we did for a show that I run every Wednesday called Adobe Office Hours here on Adobe Live. Make sure you subscribe. And
Do you have a
fun
like
little
and
animation.
subscribe?
We do. Yeah. Can we do the like and our studio manager hates when I do this. Make sure, there it is, right there. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and tune in every Wednesday at 1 p.m. for Adobe Office Hours, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So this is Office Hours, fun little thing that I created. And there are actually a bunch of different options that I can do. I could come up here and hit download, and we could do an MP4 if we wanted to, but we also could do PNG, JPEG, PDF, or the MP4. Now, this is a unique document because it has multiple pages at multiple sizes. So here's the original size. This is my YouTube thumbnail. Then I created another version that is an animated YouTube thumbnail for Twitter. And then I created another version that is an animated Instagram post right there.
Awesome.
And what's cool is if I wanted to create another version that maybe was for stories, all I need to do is go to resize and then go to Instagram story and watch what happens. I can click in here And now I can move these pieces as much as I want. Let's make this bigger. Maybe move it up here. This guy comes over here. We love our little logo. This guy's down here. Get some of this text over here. Little arrow. Sweet little Nick. There we go. There's us. This goes around the phone. This is a nice little there. And what's cool is that all of these elements are going to actually keep the same animation that I had on them. So I didn't do any animation on this image. I can hit play, and every piece is gonna animate in exactly the same as it was.
That's awesome. So everything comes over with it in that resize.
Yes, yes. Which, again, creating for social media, so quick. It's so easy.
Especially when you consider all of the formats that you're saving for.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, we created 4 formats here, and I did the animation on this one, and then literally everything else was just dragging stuff around super, super quickly.
Awesome. And it still looks good. That's the thing that's like,
yes.
It's shocking to me.
It happened, and it looks good. Miros Tiesta? When you post the animated Instagram post, will it post like a photo or a video on Instagram? Video. Yeah. Which you can create Reels, you can create TikToks, and if I wanted to, we don't have audio set up, but if I wanted to, I could do a voiceover on this and do like a little like, okay, don't get mad. Nobody get mad. Turn your head. I could go, this Wednesday at 1 p.m., tune in to Adobe Office Hours. Right, we could give you the full, and I could do the voiceover very easily, and then I have a TikTok to post, or I have an Instagram Reel, or we have a promo, and all we need to do is, I believe, I come over here and go to media and then do audio. And from here I can add music, I can record a voiceover, whatever we want that would stick with this post, and then I could add it to this post, and maybe not this post. It's really like an all-in-one place to do so many things.
Beautiful. And we're in one app. We're not jumping around.
Yes.
We're just in one place.
Yes, and again, a great way to equip your clients. If you are a creative professional, it is great to work in Illustrator. It is great to create libraries to share with them. It is better to equip them with the knowledge of how to design on their own. And so do a little upsell. This is free for you. From one freelancer to another, learn how to use Adobe Express Beta and then upsell it as a part of your package, right? I'll do your branding, and I'll do training sessions with your staff about how to use Adobe Express Beta so they can create their own social media graphics.
And that's excellent, because I will feel as a client like I have a little more control, like I don't have to bother you with every little thing that I need to make or that I want to tweak.
Yes.
It's just awesome.
Which is fun. Okay, so let's, where do we want to go? My goodness. Let's talk, I would just want to show you all something cool that's in Illustrator. Let's go to the What's New tab, and I'm just gonna have you talk a little bit about the new things in Adobe Illustrator and what's exciting. So, generative recolor.
Generative recolor.
We looked at it, what's the vibe?
Generative recolor is the next iteration in our journey with color in Illustrator. So if you are a C Pro who've been around for a while, you've probably seen the existing recolor. You can get pretty in-depth and detailed, but very powerful, allowing you to change and experiment with colors in your illustrations. Generative recolor makes it a little bit easier for you. Now you don't need a color palette to get started with or choose one of the ones that is bundled in Illustrator. You can type a prompt, and we will give you some color palette options based on that prompt. And it's really exciting to see what comes out of it. One thing that is really important about it is if you type in a prompt and you don't think that the results necessarily matched what you were going for, you can let us know. You can give us feedback on the prompts. There's our little feedback.
Right there.
And we're looking at that so that we can continue to refine our algorithm and make it better for everybody. So it's really great to get that feedback. And if you're struggling with prompts, there's also some sample prompts that can get you started.
Oh yes, up here.
Yeah, those cute little mushrooms. So there's little prompts there that you can get started with. I kind of feel like we should add ripe banana as a sample prompt.
Oh, I would never get over that. I would be so...
I'll talk to some people.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry
and see
indefinitely.
What happens. But again, they'll help you get started. There's some really nice samples to work from. And it's incredible to see when you modify the color in something that you've created, how the tone and the vibe of the entire thing can change.
Oh, yes.
So it's a really exciting feature where we're very excited. This is kind of Illustrator's first jump into AI.
It's so helpful. And so if we have something, we want to go back to the original, we can just click reset, and it'll reset it so we can see the original. And I actually put one in, I said lightning strike, because I was curious what lightning would look like. And look at this palette, right? Very
I'm liking this.
Yeah, it's very subdued, but like still has that like electricity to it. I really like this. So you can play around and kind of see the before and after of like, did it change the brand too much? Or is this an interesting direction for me to explore for the client? Which is really cool. All right, second thing that was new.
Yes.
The retype feature, beta.
In beta, yes.
In beta.
So retype is also new in Illustrator. And as we were looking at earlier, it's going to help you identify fonts that are in an image, maybe something that's been shared with you. Maybe your client, like me, is incredible and loves to send you JPEGs of type that they've used.
Yes.
And expect you to know exactly what that font is and use it or edit it. Retype is going to help you look at those things if you've been given outline type, and it will try and tell you, guess what that font is, so that you can download it and use it as a part of your illustration. So another really exciting intelligence feature added to Illustrator today in beta. So again, we're looking for feedback. We want to know how it's working for you, and we'll continue to refine and improve it.
Yep. And so I have an ideas folder here. And this is something that I'll use very often to do like mood boards with clients. And the updates to Image Trace have been actually super helpful to grab color palettes. So there is a new update to Image Trace, and my favorite thing is that we can see it now. Like being able to see what it's going to do is so helpful. And so go play around with this. So for something like this, I'll find a cool illustration that I'm like, man, I love the colors that are being used here. But if I sample, like with the eyedropper tool, it might grab like a weird pixel, which happens all the time. And so we can just click here on 6 colors, and it is going to trace that for me in 6 colors. Boom, right there. And so now, when I expand it, I can actually grab this. Now, I don't want the background color. So what I can do is I can actually click here, and I can say, hey, ignore this color, and the color that I want you to ignore, use the eyedropper tool, is this back color right there. And so it's gonna pull that color out of the harmony, and then when I expand it, I believe it won't have that at all, right? So now if I put a new background behind it, which is exactly the same color, Andrew.
You changed your mind.
Yeah,
It's
if I put something behind it, you'll see that it is just grabbing those vectors. And so if I wanna get these colors, I can open my swatches panel. Swatches, where are you? There we go. And then click on the little folder, and it will, boop, sync all those colors for me. So now I have a color palette to use and to work from, which is, again, another just cool way to get color.
And I think it's actually a really important tip that you've just shared, is that very often when we look at image trace, we think about getting an image that we want to trace and use in a project that we're working on. But you can use it for so many other things. And getting a color palette that you're excited about from something else that's inspired you is a wonderful use of image trace. So really cool. I just learned a new tip too. This is a wonderful exchange.
So while we're on image trace, I'll show you how I use image trace the most. I will have type. I don't like that type. So I do a ton of like type and texture. And so what I like to do to create my textures is to use image trace. And so what I'll do is, Andrew, okay, there we go. Everyone go away. What I'll do is I'll drop a ton of effects onto regular type, right? So we'll do like some distort and transform. Maybe I'll do some roughen here. Let's see here, 0.5, yeah, looks good. And then I'll come in and maybe I will add in some of these raster effects. So we'll do pixelate. I'll do a color halftone. I think that will look cool. Let's make it a color. All right, that's cool. And then I'll come in here and maybe add in like a, okay, how do you pronounce this? Mezzotint?
I say mezzotint.
Okay. So add in like a rough, coarse mezzotint. And now when we zoom in on here, you can see that we have like this cool texture. And here's how I get my texture. If you ever see any of my work, this is my process. Is I go into that image trace. And you can see here it's live, so we can't do anything with this. What I'll do is I'll take my vector to raster and then smash it down with image trace. So we'll go to Object, Rasterize.
So we're going to vector to raster to vector.
Yes. And so then I'll come back and I want it to like guess, and I make it so complex that it won't hit every detail, and that's what I want. I want to get that like randomized texture. So I can click on Sketch here, and you'll see really quickly, all right, so I got some results, but I want it to be a little more textured. So I'm going to pull the threshold down, and we should see it start to pull in a little bit more of those textures. And if that's not what I want, that's fine. There's a ton of options, and we can customize it. So I'm going to show you some more of those presets here real quick. Let's try line art. See if that gets any more of the texture. I actually have a preset that I use for all of my. All right, so it's going to be strokes. Let's go. Silhouettes is probably going to be pretty close, or technical drawing. All right, so somewhere in the middle here is we're going to find a really good middle ground. There we go. There we go. So this is what I like to do for my vector textures, is to throw weird kind of like effects on top of it, and then just slam it down with image trace. So try it.
Love it.
Free
Another free tip.
Free tips. That's what we do here on Adobe Live.
I love it.
I will give you all of my information. I think if you love it, make it free. All right, so let's talk about a couple more things. We got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
These are very like specific technical things that are exciting to a niche audience who hopefully you are a niche audience. So searching layers. There's not much to say there.
You can search
You
layers.
can search layers.
Which is great if you have really complicated projects that you're working on. The Illustrator Layers panel is something that you often don't look at for a long time, and then you start editing,
Yes.
and then you have to find something.
Yes.
So being able to search, and as we can see here, you can filter that by a specific type, so you don't have to look at everything in your search.
Which is really cool. All right, continuing on, we have export to WebP. I don't know what this is, to be honest.
Export to WebP. So WebP is just a newer, more modern file format that is being used more commonly now, and that's really all there is to it. You might
You're
use
welcome.
WebP. Yeah, WebP is. I'm not going to get nerdy on this. I promise. It smaller file sizes.
Okay.
They're better compression algorithms.
Oh, algorithms. Then we also have the hyperlinks, which I believe we've shown in an earlier stream. We didn't get to show on this one, but you can make things into hyperlinks. The workflow of that is super easy. You just click on it, and then you're going to go to Attributes, right? Oh, that's brushes. Attributes right there. And then you can see this little panel. All you need to do is click right here to Polygon, and then type in your URL. And when you export the PDF, the URL will be there. You can click it, send people to wherever you would like them to go, which is hopefully Adobe Live here on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. All right, next up we have retain the most recent PDF presets as the default. This is really nice. What is this?
Presets. In the past, when you have set up a PDF, you often have very specific requirements of what you are trying to save that as. And having to set those every time is time-consuming. And so now it will retain that last used preset and hopefully save you a lot of time.
Yes, which to prove it, I was doing designs earlier today and showed this feature and going to marks it. Look, I have my color bars turned off and I have my document bleed settings turned off. That's
Excellent.
The last time that I did it. That's what it was. If you've never used this and you've never worked with professional printers, this was a lot of time to
Absolutely.
get every single time exactly what they wanted. And so now it just saves it and you can click through. It's so nice. It was working faster and more efficiently, and that makes me very happy.
Absolutely.
All right, color modes for JPEGs. This was not a thing and is now a thing?
It's now a thing. It seems like it should have been for a long time.
True.
But now you can specify color modes when you're exporting JPEGs.
Yes.
Which, again, if you're doing work in print, you care a lot about color modes. And so being able to set that on an export is important.
Yep, and speaking of color modes, you can make sure that your colors stay consistent because you can get hex codes on HSB and CMYK colors now. The amount of times that I've just like typed in that to somewhere to like, give me the hex code for these values, it's here now, which is really cool. All right, so that's everything that is new in Adobe Illustrator. We'll give you a little bit of a preview of what's coming up next. Make sure you stick around. We are going to be creating some awesome illustrations for...
Yes. So I think what we're going to make is we're going to take some characters that I have created, and we're going to create a cover for a coloring book.
Yes.
With
so
those characters.
A coloring cover of characters.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yes. Oh, I said the alliteration, and then I was trying to think of what the last word was. It's cool. Cool. Oh, like cool. You're... Oh, cool. Stick around for a really cool stream. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them in chat, and we will address those at the beginning of the next stream. We'll be back in 5 minutes. It'll be us, but like in different chairs maybe. Who knows? We'll get a little bit fun, but it'll be great. Grab your characters, open Illustrator, create something with us, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Awesome. See you soon.
Bye.